alert, okay, guys? If you hate pick-me's, click off. If you hate men, click off. This is gonna be your worst nightmare, okay? So, in today's video, I'm actually gonna give flowers to the men because whenever credit is due, I give it to them. And yeah, I'll basically tell you, ladies, everything you're missing out on by not having a man around. Or should I say a good man? But I mean, all the men I get are good, you know what I mean? So to me, it's all like, it's just men. But I feel like I have to specify for the ladies that don't. First, this whole gender war thing, it only hurts you. Because when you're bitter, it stems from the refusing to acknowledge personal accountability. So basically, whenever you hear any women complaining about man ain't ish, da 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 da, it's because they had bad experiences. And instead of blaming themselves, they blame everything but themselves. Like, for example, if you're good at vetting men and you see a trashy man coming near you, you know to not give him the time of day, but these women, they don't know. And then when they get a bad experience, it's the man's fault. It's not their fault for some reason. Even though a relationship, this is the basic of relationships, by the way. Whenever you're in a relationship, it's us. It's both of us. It's not just a mistake on one person's side, it's both a mistake. So when you see someone pointing fingers, you know they're not good in relationships in the first place. And another thing I've noticed in this man ate shit behavior is they attract toxic individuals, and basically you're always going to meet your match. You're never going to meet someone that is not compatible with you. That wouldn't make any sense. Like, how would that even happen? Unless you meet him at a place that's like not where you normally go, then that's your fault at the same time. Like for example, me and my man are really compatible. We're both people that study computer science. We're both gamers. We love the same interests. We watch the same shows. We're literally compatible in every way because how we met, it was based on those things. So if I meet a man at a book club, I'm gonna go with the assumption we both like books, and he did not just show up to get women here. You know what I mean? But if they do show up just to get women, then that's where you can get compatibility issues. So yeah, you'll always find your match regardless. So, and it's so funny because a lot of women, they'll give the time of day to bad men. For example, they'll date a guy that's already dating someone else, and they're gonna both make that man cheat, and she's gonna entertain him, and then she's gonna be surprised that he cheats on her. But man ain't ish, right? That's their logic here. But it's not. That's not what's happening. It's you. You're the problem. Like, we need to have accountability, because if you're being slow on purpose like this and you're ignoring red flags, it's only gonna hurt you. Stop blaming external things when you can easily take responsibility, like, oh, maybe I should not be dating men that are already dating someone and take them away from them. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Ooh, okay. And another thing is misery loves company. So a lot of these women, they will spread negativity because it's easier than healing. You know how what's easy? Just saying man ain't ish, instead of retrospecting and being like, oh, what could I have done right in this scenario? Maybe if I only get pookies, maybe it's the way I dress, maybe it's the way I talk. Instead of doing that, they rather say there ain't ish. I'm gonna stop dating forever. You know how like drastic, how extreme that mindset is? First of all, to think everybody ain't ish, like half of the earth ain't ish, and then also think you're gonna never date ever again. Like, dating is like, it's at least 50% of the freaking human experience. Having love, maybe having a family, having connection, a deep connection, being vulnerable with someone, that is like half of life. So taking that away from you because you did bad choices, you chose wrong, and you put yourself in situations that you shouldn't have, that is nuts. Like, I can't even, ew, that's terrible, ew. So first, okay, let's talk about the men now. Everything they offer you and everything you're missing out on when you're doing bad choices, when you're not vetting properly, when you don't take accountability, and when you're blaming half the population for the problems you're experiencing. Because not all the women experience this. We don't all date cheaters. We don't date all pookies. We don't date men that are going to make us single moms. We're not doing that. we take accountability. So what men will offer you is good men. I have to say it because I feel like someone's gonna take it out of context, but good men, they offer you um, less chances of being exploited or being in dangerous situations. So just think of when you're going out with your man. You can just turn off your brain, right? Because he got everything under control. He knows where to go. He looks around. He's alert. And you're just turning off your brain because everything is so great. You don't have to think. All you have to worry about is spending money. Like, it's so fun. Like, I cross the street when he wants to cross the street. We go to restaurants that he picks because, I'm gonna like those. Like, it's so sweet. It's so cute. And when you let them lead like this, like, you can't be in situations that would put you in a vulnerable spot or a dangerous situation. And also, can we talk about like the basic things? Like, you're probably never gonna get kidnapped or forced into situations if your man is next to you. No, that's never gonna happen. So you're safe from those things as well. Like, just having a male presence, you're like 100 times less vulnerable to everything in life. So I don't know. I like having them around. And you could be that feminist and be like, oh yeah, but all the problems are from men anyway, so we need men from protecting us from other men. Okay, so be it. You want a cookie? Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, there's always gonna be good people that protect us from the bad people. That's just how it is. I don't care what the gender is. There's it's possible that most of them are men. I'm not denying that. It's probably what it is too. I'm just saying, like, if you choose well and you give men, the right time of day and everything, they're gonna take care of you. They're gonna keep you safe. That's the whole point. If you don't want to deal with that and you rather be unsafe, no, because you know that most men are dangerous, so I'd rather be just vulnerable anyway, like, okay. I don't know what to tell you. Like, yes, that's the reality we're in. What are you gonna do? You're gonna reform half the population? Okay, good luck. So, yeah. And also, another thing men provide is they provide emotional and physical safety. I'm actually gonna make a video on sisterhood, but just to like put this out there, a lot of women, they say they need girls to talk to. They need women to vent and gossip and stuff like that. Okay, well, I have my man for that. I don't need anyone else. I can just talk to the person next to me that's always going to be in my life for the next 50 years about those things. You know how like easy that is? I don't even have to pick up the phone. I don't have to do anything. He's just there. He's going to listen to me. And you know what the best part is? They give you logical solutions. They don't let you indulge in your misery and just marinate in it. No. They'll tell you solutions. They'll acknowledge, okay, you're not doing well. I understand. But here's what we can do so it doesn't happen again. And I love that. That's another thing I actually don't like venting to women because what they're going to tell you is, oh, I get it. I've been through that. Yeah, it sucks. Do you want to go shopping or do you want to go eating something to feel better? That's their problem. Like, that's their conflict resolution skills. And again, there's nothing wrong with that for certain things, right? But for me, I'm constantly trying to grow. I want solutions to my problems, and when I have someone that's literally putting all the solutions on a silver plate for me, ooh, I love that. It's just the best. And another thing is, and I've basically mentioned this briefly earlier, but these men will protect you from other men. So you're not gonna get catcalled. You can wear whatever you want. You can wear a miniskirt and high heels and go out and you have your man next to you. No man is gonna bother you, okay? Like, I think whenever I go out with my man, like, the men will stop my boyfriend to tell him a compliment about me. They're not gonna tell me a compliment. And I think that's so beautiful. That's so cute. I think it's cute. I like it. Like, if you get compliments, they'll be from more respectful men. So, I think that's beautiful. And also, again, you feel so safe and comfortable when you have a male partner next to you. Like, even like when I go out with coworkers to the mall just to eat, if they're guys, it's better. It's just I don't even have to think. I feel safe. Nobody's gonna stop me from my number because they probably assume that I'm dating them or something. But I don't care. Like, it feels safer. I've never been in a situation with a man where I felt unsafe. Because you know how these men act, you know how they think, you know how they look. So you can prevent those situations so easily if you have basic discernment. Okay, I'm probably gonna make a video on discernment as well, but basically, when you hear women say, "Oh, all the men are dangerous," have had so many bad situations, is because they lack discernment. That's all what it means. They're calling themselves out. Because I'm pretty sure all the pretty girls, especially when you're pretty, you have to have the discernment on another level. Because a lot of bad men are gonna come to you, but you can just be, no, thank you, bye. I don't want to give them the time of day. If a bad coworker talks to you, you just, oh, I have to go to the bathroom. You just leave. Like, you don't let them yourself be in their presence. You never do that. And also, you talk to them more in a cold manner, so they want to end the conversation faster, like in a subtle way, not saying like, go away. I'm not saying that. It's just like, oh, that's true, okay. Like, I don't ask like follow-up questions. There's things you can do to protect yourself as a woman when there's like creepy men coming to you. There's so many things, and especially use your discernment. Okay, that's the number one thing you can do. And if you have bad discernment, buy books that help you get discernment, that help with critical thinking. Watch videos about that. Okay, instead of just falling in situations back to back, having 5 bad boyfriends in a row, and not thinking for a second like, oh, maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe there's something I can do better, right? Like, I don't know about you, but I know my subbies are probably like that too. If they're around men, they're good men. You can turn off your brain. They're always, and I think that's another thing we don't talk about enough. Men, they're pretty alert in general. Like, they're always looking around. They're constantly like planning their next move all the time. So when there's someone like that next to you, bro, like, you can just turn off your brain. You know how much of a luxury that is? I feel like every woman have to experience that at least once. It's so great. Like, oh my goodness. Ooh. When I don't have to think about anything and my man is next to me and he's like taking care of everything, that's like the biggest turn on you can ever experience, by the way. So, yeah. And of course, the most important point out of all of this, you get financial security. So, like, financial stability will drastically influence your personal well-being, right? Like, it's like, I think it's like 90% of marriages, they end because of financial issues. Okay, so this is like number one thing that you have to make sure that your man is in a good position financially. And most of them are. If anything, women are probably the one with the highest debt count and men with the lowest. So when they don't want to marry you, typically because you have debt. The other way around is pretty rare. I think, or at least I don't hear about it. And I'm dating a guy right now, but I'm saying like, I'm attracted to men, and I've never seen men have that issue. So maybe they're more personal about it. They're more private, I mean. So maybe that's what it is. But yeah, typically it's a problem that women have on their side. And when you're financially secure with a man, he takes care of everything. Again, that's such a turn on. Like, I don't want to make everything sexual, but it's like, when we go to a restaurant, I don't have to think about paying. When we're going shopping, I don't have to think about paying. Bills, I don't have to think about paying. Like, do you know how of a luxury that is? Like, ask any women right now in a relationship that are doing 50-50 or they're living alone right now. What's their biggest concern? Buying food, paying their bills. Imagine you don't have that worry anymore. Isn't that like pure bliss? Who wouldn't want that? And in exchange, you have to serve him. You know, like, give him a massage here and there. Feed him the food that he buys. You know what I mean? Like, just be nice to him. Be a good company. I'll take that. That's way less stressful. And also, if you love someone, it's easy to do things for them. It's easy to cook for someone you love. It's that simple. It's easy to have a clean space because the person you love live in that space and you don't want them to live in a dirty space. Is that crazy to say? You want to do their laundry for them because you already do yours, so you just add his into the pile and then you do it. That's a good trade to not have to worry about paying bills, if you ask me. And if you want to age gracefully, reduce your stress. And that's one super effective way of doing that, okay? Another thing they provide is supporting your self-actualization. That's a big one, especially on YouTube. Like, there's a lot of YouTubers that are women because there's men in the background that allows them to do this. When you don't have to pay bills, you can do full-time YouTubing, right? Because you don't have to worry about paying bills, you don't have to make money in the beginning, you can do it for free for a long time because you're not paying bills. I can go to my painting class and not worry about have to work the whole day, and then I have to cook for like an hour, and then I have to do this. Like your day is not completely full. You have so much time, and you know how men are always like, oh, the biggest freedom is having like a time freedom. So you work, but everything is like automatic, and you have a business. That's like the best thing because you have more time on your hands. Men always say that, right? Imagine you don't have to run a business. You just have time freedom. You can go to Pilates at 11 a.m. You can go to a painting class at 2 p.m. You can cook food whenever during the day because who cares? Yeah. Like, I'm thinking of so many female YouTubers whose early careers were supported by their partner. I'm sure you have like at least 5 that are coming up in your head right now. And I'm sure some of you, even listening right now, if you didn't have to pay bills, if you didn't have to be in school right now, you'd be probably doing YouTube because your man is taking care of everything else. And also, your man, this is what they don't tell you, okay? Your man, he gets money and he's fulfilled with his job because he's serving others. Because when he's serving people at his job and then he's serving his wife, you get purpose from that. And that's something you quickly will learn, like after you like around 25, you will learn this, that the biggest purpose in life is serving others. You can serve yourself your whole life. Buy yourself things, put yourself first, you will never have a fulfilling life. I promise you. I'm not saying to be a people pleaser. I'm not saying to be selfish 100%. Like, forget about the extremism. Just serving others. I'm going to give you this simple example. Let's say you buy yourself a pack of gum. Whatever, you're buying yourself a pack of gum. Just think if your man came back from his job and he bought you a pack of gum. Which pack of gum is going to mean more to you? The one that he thought about you, he went out of his way to get it for you, or the one you bought yourself? Now imagine if you have a partner always doing those things for you, always putting you first, and you put him first. You know how beautiful that is? It's pure bliss. I can tell you that from experience. Okay? It's amazing. And again, I keep saying this because I don't want any women to deprive themselves from this. When you put him first, and even I'm not religious or anything, but even in the Bible, they say like a woman should serve her husband, right? I understand that now. And when you're in survival mode, it's impossible to understand. And I was basically in survival mode my whole life because I didn't grow up with money, right? So putting others first was never on my radar. Never. I was like, oh, I can't even give people birthday money and stuff like that because that means I'm not gonna eat for 2 or 3 days. Like, that's what I meant. So I couldn't afford to worry about people. That was the reality. So now that I can, I get literally a high from serving others, specifically my boyfriend, because I know he's serving me in different ways. And it's not about me, oh, I'm getting this out of this, so I'm doing that for him. No, I want to do it out of my pure heart. This feels like time well spent to me. My options are I watch 5 hours of YouTube, or I clean the entire house, or I do the dishes so he doesn't see dirty dishes. Like, those are like basic examples, right? My alternative is never as good as serving others, personally. Like, I just need you guys to let that sink in. Imagine someone doing, like, dedicating, and I mean it in the purest sense. They dedicate their life to you, and you dedicate your life to them. It's beautiful. It's like the most beautiful things. You need to experience this. You need to. So, any women that are saying, like, men ain't ish, don't bother with them, they're a waste of time, they're all cheaters, don't listen to them. Women that say men are all cheaters, they got cheated on. So now, since they got that experience, they want every woman to not experience a man, or they want them to experience them cheating to be like, yep, I told you guys. So don't listen to these people. It's not true. And yeah, no, just don't listen to them. So if you want to self-actualize in life, having a man behind you is so much easier. And sorry, this is another thing I need to mention. As women, we have this safety net of so many systems in life that we'll never have to worry about being in the streets, basically. So I'm being so for real. Let's say there's a man that loses his job. He has no wife, nobody to count on, no family. He could reach out to a coworker, and there's a high chance he will get denied to live with them, for example. But for women, it's like I could reach out to any of my coworkers right now, and they probably would let me stay at their place. Sure, that's kind of fucked up, right? Like I wouldn't live with my coworkers, but I'm just saying we have safety nets. So we have people around us that typically care more about women than men. So we can basically count on anybody, especially men. We can count on any man, and I know they might have a crush on you, stuff like that. I'm just saying, like, you'll never end up in the street. So you count on these men, or you count on your boyfriend, because it doesn't matter if you don't make money, because your boyfriend's always gonna make money. Okay, so you have that safety net, and if anything happens, you have systems, literally government systems, to keep you okay. Oh, you can have a child with a freaking deadbeat? The government got you. And I'm not gonna go into the aspect of how enabling that is, but I digress. So you can make so many wrong choices as a woman, and you have so many safety nets that you're gonna be safe. Okay? And what I'm saying is, if you have a man in your life, you could literally try everything in life, because you'll always have a man to count on. You'll always have a man to fall back on. Always. And that's the biggest luxury, because men will never have to experience that. Men, it's, if I fuck up, I could end up in the street. It's high stake. For us, not really. And I think that's that's also part of why a lot of women, they're comfortable and lazy. Because they know deep down, at the end of the day, I can get as fat as I want, I'll still get a man. I can get as fat as I want as a wife, and my man's gonna stay. And I can leave my man and still get child support if I need it. I can, like, there's so many safety nets as a woman that self-actualizing is actually getting rare because we're so comfortable. So, yeah, I think it's a blessing and a curse, but it's mostly a blessing if used properly. And I think a lot of men are actually jealous of women for this specific reason. We have so many chances, people care about us, and yeah, that safety net you get from having a man that makes money, or just having a man in general that takes care of you, is irreplaceable. And another thing that I really, really love about men is they provide grounding and reality checks. Okay? So, men typically, unless you're dating a bum, they really focus on personal improvement, especially like in this day and age, because it's like so promoted to them. So, they're really focused on improvement, like fitness, and they also like productivity. So they offer like mental strength through direct yet supportive feedback. Like if I ask my man anything, he will, like, he's so emotionally intelligent, and that's another perk. You should always date older men. My man is not that much older than me, only 3 years older, but he's really smart because he had mentors in his life. So if you date someone older or someone that had mentors or had just good guidance in their life, you will see the difference. Okay, he's really emotionally intelligent. If I ask him feedback, he's not gonna give me something that's gonna be too emotionally based, but also not too logical based. They find a really good balance. And you can ask any women dating older men, they'll tell you that exactly. They have more experience, they're wiser. Okay, so they can give you extremely good advice. And the problem on the women's side is most of our friends are our age, and we know them for a long time. So their personality and their experience is kind of based on our life as well. So they'll never be able to give you as quality advice as a man could, if that makes sense. Sorry, I don't want to like downplay the advice women give. It is good advice. I have had good advice from my sister in the past, and I don't want to downplay it. It's just when you have someone next to you 24/7 that see how you act, that probably know you better than you know yourself, and they give you advice, that is priceless advice. It's priceless feedback. And anything in life, if you want to get better at anything in life, feedback is like one of the 3 best things you can do for yourself. Okay, so feedback is important. And you can't necessarily get feedback from girlfriends, especially when you're in an older age. I see my girlfriends once a month at best. typically once every 3 months, right? So they'll never be able to give me like good feedback, and also they're biased with what I provide them with information. My man see me how I act, see how I react to everything. So he can give me feedback that makes total sense for my situation. And again, they provide emotional stability and they reduce unnecessary relationship drama. So if you date a good man, he will have good conflict resolution skills. So if you say you're upset with something, he'll be like, okay, what is it? I'm all ears. Okay, tell me what the problem is. That's what they will do. They're not gonna fight you. They're gonna listen to you and say, okay, I'll do this better. They're bad men, if you date them, which a lot of women do apparently, they'll say, well, because I did that because you did that. Or, well, I did that, well, you're doing that, and I'm bothered with that. They let things build up. But good provider men, or just good high quality men, they'll listen to you. They'll let you say whatever you have to say. They'll acknowledge what you're saying. And yeah, it's like they're not trying to fight you. They're just trying to fix this, get it over with, so we can see what the problem is, fix the problem, and not build resentment. But men with bad communication skills, they'll let it build up, they'll build resentment, and then it'll explode into a fight. So, but that's also based on how you talk to your man. I'm really good with communication, obviously. I tell him everything that comes to mind immediately. And that's another good point about men, is you can tell them anything. They're like a journal. So if you tell them everything, and you tell them as soon as there's an issue and you tell them, they love that transparency. They don't like when you're covert. They don't like when you're hiding things. They like when you're being honest and like straightforward. It's actually really refreshing, because a lot of men, the thing they hate about women is they're complicated. They're not saying really what they're thinking. They could say, yeah, I'm okay, and they're not really okay. So that's super annoying. Imagine dealing with someone like that. That is so ew. That is just ew. So they actually appreciate a lot when you're just saying, hey, I have this problem with this. I'm upset with this. And you just tell them. And they fix the problem for you. They'll be like, okay, I'll be more considerate next time. Period. And lastly, the last best thing about men is their leadership and peace. So if you get a good man, they'll have good leadership skill, and that way you can just turn off your brain and relax. The way whenever I'm with my man, I have no stress, no worries. Everything is under control. Everything is handled. And I think a lot of women, they're scared of that for some reason. I think it's because if you choose your man wrong and he takes some decisions and stuff like that, well, if you chose wrong, he's gonna choose wrong decisions for the unit, for both of us, right? But if you choose the right man, he'll do the right decisions for both of you. So you can let him lead. And I feel like women, they say like, I don't want my man to be in charge of the financials, and I don't have any money, and I don't want him to lead, because what if you make bad choices? You chose him. You guys have everything in common. You're compatible. You're a match. Okay? So his choices are gonna align with yours by default. And if it doesn't align, you can just say something. And if clearly it's a deal breaker, or you guys are reaching an impasse and it's really damaging to your life, you separate. That's it. Like, for me, my man does a bunch of choices, and I can't even think of one example where I was like, oh, actually, I don't agree with this. Because he takes me into consideration every time he makes a choice for both of us. And a good man will do that. And most men will do that. They're not just going to make a choice and say, screw you, I'm just making this choice. No. And again, if you choose a man that does that, what does it say about you? Like, let's be so for real. So, yeah. The comfort of being led by a capable, calm, competent, supportive leader, it's a luxury. I can't even, like, I could not describe it with words, guys. Like, it's too perfect. Like, don't deprive yourself from that. Don't risk not getting that in your life. I'm not saying be desperate for it and look for it. It will happen. Just be in the places where you want to be, and your man will be in places where he wants to be, and you'll meet up eventually. That's it. I don't think you should do dating apps because dating apps is too look based, and like the location of where you meet your man is important. Because it will tell you what you have in common. That location is what you have in common. So if what you have in common is going to the bar, is what you have in common is being on dating apps, that's your first common ground, that's a huge issue. So don't go for those things. Go for hobbies. Go where your hobbies are celebrated. If you're a gamer, date online. That's the smartest thing you can do in this day and age. Like people that don't go outside and they try to meet people outside, but they're never going outside. And then you're gonna meet someone that wants to go outside all the time. It's gonna be an issue. It's like the men that are like, oh yeah, I want to meet a girl and I'm going to the club to meet one, and then they're surprised when the girl goes back to the club for fun. Well, the guy was just going there to meet the girl and never going back, but she was going there for fun. So that's gonna create an issue. So the location of where you meet is super important, okay? And I'm saying location, but I'm also including like the dating app itself. That's a location. So yeah. Anywho, that's all I had for the men. Okay. Let me know what you guys think. Tell me about your experiences with men. I want to see the good experiences you had. If you're married or whatever, I want to hear that. That's so cute. I love that. So yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll see you ladies in the next video. Bye bye.